Boris Johnson will travel to Brussels tomorrow for a meeting over dinner with the EU Commission President in an attempt to unblock talks on a post-Brexit trade deal. Negotiations remain stuck with just over 3 weeks to go before the transition period ends at the end of December. The politicians hope that meeting in person will lead to a solution. Our Deputy Political Editor, Vicki Young, reports.
Will there be a deal, Prime Minister?
Trade talks have run into trouble and Boris Johnson will soon need to take some difficult decisions. Everyone's waiting to see if there's a way through.
I think that the situation at the moment is very tricky. Our friends have just got to understand that the UK has left the European Union in order to be able to exercise democratic control over the way we do things. And then there's also the issue of fisheries where we're a long way apart still, but hope springs eternal.
There has been progress in another very tricky area. To avoid checks along the Irish border, Northern Ireland will continue to follow some EU rules. But that means inspections on certain goods entering Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. Businesses there have been worried about extra paperwork and the impact on food and medicine supplies.
How do you start to unpeel the complexity that is Northern Ireland and not create any instability? And so I think if they've got some sort of solution today, albeit it's late, we will definitely welcome it and we'll be so pleased. And we really hope that with the detail that comes out, that they've really listened to some of our concerns.
This has been a hugely complicated and controversial issue where economic considerations have had to be seen in the context of a delicate peace process.
Positives have been difficult to find in recent days when it comes to Brexit negotiations, but this is most certainly a very important positive for the island of Ireland as a whole, because what this does now is it provides the guarantees that Ireland's place in the single market and the issues around the border are now all settled. Hopefully, this is a signal that the British government is in deal-making mood.
Some see today's agreement as a positive sign for the broader trade talks. But don't forget, those arrangements in Northern Ireland will apply whether there's a deal or not. And EU sources say that their chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, has told European ministers that we're now tilting towards no deal. And while politicians talk, the uncertainty affects businesses everywhere. The manager of this sawmill in Somerset says he's ready to adapt.
We have to be as positive as we possibly can about it and move forward. We employ 3-4 people and a couple of part-timers, and for us, having to let people go is the worst thing for me. So my biggest fear is having to let staff members go if there's any obvious price increases and we become less efficient and if we go into recession.
Tomorrow, Boris Johnson heads to Brussels for a dinner with the President of the European Commission, a last chance to find a breakthrough and a trade deal that both sides can sign up to. Vicki Young, BBC News, Westminster.
Our Ireland correspondent Emma Vardy is at Stormont for us. And Emma, tell us more about the reaction to that decision on the Irish border.
Well, it has been cautiously welcomed here in Northern Ireland as progress. It means lots of companies are now going to get answers about the process they'll have to go through to get goods from Northern Ireland into their biggest market, GB, and to get important things like supermarket shipments of food over the Irish Sea onto the shelves here. But really, the devil's going to be in the detail when that is all going to be revealed tomorrow. Now, don't forget, in January, those special arrangements will kick in for Northern Ireland, where Northern Ireland has to continue sticking by EU rules. That's because Northern Ireland is effectively becoming a new gateway into the EU. And so people are very fond of reminding Boris Johnson, because companies that are having to get ready for all those new checks and new paperwork, he told them previously, look, don't worry, when you get through all of this, you're going to be able to chuck some of that paperwork into the bin. Now, we're going to find out tomorrow if that is really the case and how much the added burden of red tape on traders is going to be reduced. And of course, the reason why that is so important is because any added bureaucracy has an implication for the cost of goods that we have on the shelves and of course the range of goods, particularly that consumers here in Northern Ireland can buy.
Emma, thank you. Emma Vardy there.